Good evening, everyone. How you all doing? Yeah, looks like I've gone live. Cool. Hope you all had a great weekend. There we go. I think we're switching that off now. Sorry, I got a feedback here, guys. I'm just trying to turn everything off. Hopefully that's better. Hopefully you only got one volume coming through. So how you all doing? Hope you had a great weekend. Finally got out shooting. We did some long range shooting, me and my buddy Lauren. I'm just trying to get some videos together. We were out. I took the 7mm mag, 300 Win mag, and my 338 Lapore, and Lauren took his 7mm mag out, and we managed to reach out to 1,033 yards, and we were shooting a plate, probably 18 inches by 18 inches. Took a few shots to get onto it, but once we got it, we were hitting it no problem. So we did a few. We did 600, 800, and 1,033. We had a great time. So now that I've come back, I'll get those videos loaded up, and also I'm going to be doing a little mini series of loading 338 Pro from start to finish, and probably do some 7mm mag stuff as well. So we got some stuff coming up. Okay, let me just scroll through, say hi to everybody. Looks over here. Okay, let's have a look. So Tactical FUD was on first. Gene, reloading from the hot pot, was with us. Excuse me. Elliot, AR, Patriot Nation is with us. Good to see you, Elliot. Mark Thomas has joined us. Rich B, good to see you, Rich. Bobby Barlow's with us. Mark Thomas is there. Walter's come in and joined us via Yo. Brutal Bob is there. How you doing, Bob? Shane Boyle has come in. Dale Pogue. Michael Hurtneck is with us. Good to see you, Michael. Thanks for joining us. Bamba Dad. Good evening. Info Brothers. DJ Play Nice is with us. So we got a few on, and the side chat bouncing already. That's great to see. So after last week's stream, we talked about one of the little tools I got is called a Dandy Trickler. So a couple of guys mentioned they hadn't seen it, and so I thought I'd do tonight. We'll do just a little stream on the Chargemaster 1500, how I use it, how I get it all set up, and then how we set up the little Dandy Trickler to go with it as well. So that's what I thought we'd run tonight. And for the prize draw tonight, guys, I think I've got that wrong. Before anybody puts anything, don't put nothing in yet. I need to change something. Edit. It's going to be 31. Save. Trickle. Yeah, so it's hashtag Mac31 tonight, guys. There's an entry in there already. So hashtag Mac39, and that will get you in the draw. I said hi to Dale Poe. Dwayne. Dwayne 7834 is with us. Good to see you. Yeah, so hashtag Mac31 it is, guys. And that will get you in the draw. They've started counting. And tonight I've got the usual suspects. I've got my channel logo sticker. I got the FN Scar sticker. Green pocket screwdriver for tonight. and I've got the Mac Tools little camouflage beanie. It's got the Mac Tools in orange on the front of it, little camouflage beanie. So we've got that tonight, screwdriver and a couple of stickers. So if any of you guys want to have a jump in and try that, hashtag Mac31 will get you in the draw for tonight. And we'll do that in about 45 minutes, something like that. We'll do the draw. Tommy Boy has joined us. Good to see you, Tommy. I'm going to run through the Dandy Trickler tonight after you mentioned it last week. So we'll do a little bit of a stream on that so you can see how it works and how I set it up. And I'm up to date there. So let's bring you in on the scales. Sorry, just getting the camera set up here. Hopefully you can see everything from here. Okay, so you can see Charge Master 1500. Most of you have seen them. A lot of you probably have got them. So I got this set up, and this is the little Dandy Trickler. It drops basically a grain at a time. So we'll run through and do that. So the Charge Master has been on probably for about 30 minutes. So I moved it out from behind the camera, and it's been sitting in one place for about 30 minutes. So it gives it time to stabilize itself. So let me just raise this up a little bit, guys. Gives it a chance to stabilize itself, warm up a little bit before we go in and start doing any work with it. So what I'll do is, like I said, I'll set this up. It'll sit on the bench, and after putting it on for about 30, 40 minutes, something like that, we'll go in, we'll get it ready, and we'll calibrate it. So they come with the 2 calibration weights, and it's as easy as going in and hitting the calibration button. Hit it a second time once you can see the little, I don't know if you can see that arrow there, guys. The little arrow comes on to say it's stable. So hit calibrate again, and it says 50. So we can drop the 50 weight on. Wait for the little pointer to come on to say it's stable and it's happy with it. Hit the cal again. It's asking for 100, so you put the other 50 on. Comes stable. And just hit it, and it's there. So that's calibrated up. Treat it gently. And then we can just pop the tray in and zero it out. So that's basically all we need to do to get the thing set up, calibrated, and ready to go. This has got the modification. I've got the McDonald's straw. So let's zoom in on that. So you can see sticking right out the front here, there's a little plastic straw, and it helps with the way the powder drops. There's quite a few videos on YouTube about the McDonald's straw. So I've done that, and it really helps and works, and it works well. And then all I'm going to do is bring the little Dandy Trickler in over the top of the tray, so it just sits there like that. Before you put your powder in, always make sure that the bleed on the right hand side is closed. I got caught out. I was doing a stream a while ago. I put powder in, I hadn't shut that. Bleed up, and I had powder all over my bench. So it happens to everybody. We'll all do it. And just by closing it, it just helps. But always check it just before you drop the powder in. I think Andy Z79, sorry, Andy 79Z28 has joined us. Mark Thomas is there. Just going to go down and see if there's anybody else. Any other questions? Yeah, the reason is it timed because the time changed with you guys over on the central and eastern coast, but it never changes in Arizona. So where it normally starts at 9 o'clock Eastern, with the hour change, it brings it forward to 8 o'clock. I'm still starting 6 Arizona time, but it starts a little bit earlier for you guys on the East Coast. So Vanessa Kitty has joined us. Good to see you, Vanessa. Yeah, so it makes it a bit easier times. There's only 2 hours difference, so it's a big difference. Walter says he's dumped powder in this a few times and had that little valve open on the side or the drainer open, and he gets powder all his bench. It always it'll happen. There's nothing you can do. Once it happens to you, you just clean it up, and you'll concentrate more next time you do it. Okay, so it's all set up. So I'm going to run H1000 powder in it because it is like a stick powder and it'd be easier to see. So everything's shut. We can tip some of this in. And also then I can top into the dandy trickler as well. Just put a little bit in there as well. So now we got powder actually in the hopper itself. I got powder in the dandy trickler. You can see there's not a huge amount in there. It doesn't need a lot. And it's as simple as going in and just picking a weight that you want. Say we're going to be doing, let's go 54.5. We're going to do 54.5 grains of H1000. So you can go in and press 54.5. But because we're going to want 54.5, I'm going to drop to 54.4. So I'm going to go point or a thou, whatever it is, under. So it's 54.4 we're going to be asking for. Dropped 1 grain of powder in there. So 54.4, hit enter, and then dispense. And it'll feed through. It's counting all the way up. And there you go. It's counted one. It actually tells you it's 1 count. Let me see if I can zoom in a little bit on this. And this one went over 54.6. So it dropped a couple of grains too many. So I'm going to go back, dump it out. Because you hit enter, then dispense, it sets it up so it just runs through. Every time you put it back on empty, it'll pick up and run through for you. And it's just dropping the little grain at a time. 54.3 and 54.4 tells you we've run 2 counts of powder. So 54.4. So with the little dandy trickler, we've got 2 settings. We've got fast and slow on the button. So I'm going to feed it out first, and it just vibrates and it'll feed the powder out. We need to get it to come down. So you can lean it forward. You can see the powder started to come down. And then once you finish with the red, the fast, you can go on to the lighter one, and it's much, much slower. So let me dump this powder now that we've got everything full again. I'm going to try and zoom right in on the trickler so you can see it. Hopefully you can see it working. So it's dropping a little bit too much. It's speeding out too fast. So I'm going to stop it. I'm going to put it at 50. what do you say, 53 point, I'm going to go down 2 this time. So 54.3. So 54.3, and we're going to want it at 54.5. So you can dispense. Let me just check these questions. Mike says powder is too expensive to drop too much on the bench. You're right there. Dale Pogue says, I have an auto charge in the same spot. I always have a pan under the spout in case I'm stupid. We all forget. We all do it. Okay. So there you go. 54.3. You can see we're on there. And hopefully you can see actually in the tube, you can see there's grains. And see how they all line up. And then by hitting the yellowy button, you can see them bouncing. Hopefully you can see that. And then it'll drop. There are, the first grain has just dropped. Just dropped one grain. Hit it again, it dropped another grain. And you just keep feathering it. So we're at 54.4. There you go, 54.5. So you can see how they all lined up. The reason I went for this powder is because you can see it a bit easier. So if I hit the red button, you can see how much more it bounces. They throw them around a bit. You're only doing that to get the grains close, and then once you're down, you can just use them. You can see how slow they're trickling out. Hopefully you can see that on the screen here. Trying to turn this so the light is catching it as well. Okay, let's go for another one then. I keep knocking the pipe and it's just dropping little bits of powder. Okay, so it starts off, throws the powder, slows down, got to 54, and now it's just doing the little trickles. This is all adjustable. You can adjust how long you want it to drop the main powder when it slows down until it goes into a trickle. It's all programmable. And there you go. We hit 54.3. It's done the count. 54.3. So we wanted 54.5. And again, so what I would do then, I would start feathering in at a little bit at a time. And as you can see there, it drops one grain, drops the second grain, third grain, takes it up to 54.4. One grain, two grains, and there you go, 54.5. So this is how I tend to do my precision loading for rifles. I like the process of setting the Charge Master lower and then feeding it up with a dandy trickler. So let me just go in and do this quickly, guys. So I was having a look a little bit earlier, and the cheapest I could find the Charge Master at the moment, hopefully you can see that, was $3.99. It's a company called Big R. Says it's free delivery to November the 17th, which is like 4 days away. Tax estimate, they're not giving you any tax. It probably once you put your state in. Not sure how that works. But it's normally around, it's between $400 and $500, the Charge Master is. if any of you guys are interested in it. And see if I can change any of them. No. So $3.99 was the best I could find it at the moment, but we have got that Black Friday coming up. So that Black Friday sale coming up, so you might be able to find these online cheaper. So it's just, I just had a quick look tonight before coming on the air, just so you could see that. And then the other one I wanted to show you is share screen. Share. So there's the little dandy trickler. So it's from a company called Dandy Products LLC, and it's Dandy 2-speed electric powder trickler, and at the moment they're $124. I know when I bought mine 5 or 6 years ago, it was probably about $40 or $50 cheaper than that. So it's gone up a little bit. There's 385 reviews and a 5-star on it. Just having a look if there's any. They say they won't ship to PO boxes. They use UPS. I believe this company, I thought this company was here in Arizona. Yeah, there it is. So it's in Mesa in Arizona. So it's not far from me. It's only just up the road. And there's a telephone number there, guys. And there's an email address. But it's just Dandy Products LLC. And that's the actual trickler itself. So you get the actual unit, plastic tub, the heavy weight on the bottom, and it runs on 2 AA batteries. And very simple, but it works really well. I really like it. Let me zoom out a little bit on here. So you can see you get it's quite a heavy weight. There's an adjustable rod on the back. So this adjustable rod, so you can adjust the height. You can get this closer. So you can raise it up. Probably there's a 6 or 7 inch adjustment on it. So there's plenty of adjustment. So you can use it basically on any scales you want. There's quite a long arm coming out. So it gives you plenty of room to go in. This plastic cap comes off for easy cleaning, and if you want to wipe it down at all. So it's all round. It's just a great little product. I can't remember who I actually saw using it on YouTube originally, but I just thought it was great, because sometimes when you're trying to get this really accurate and precise for your rifle rounds, it's hard to do it just on this, because sometimes it'll go over, sometimes it'll go under. So like I said, I set it at 54.3 and then just feed it through. Let's do another one so you can see. And then it's just going to be grain at the time, and you can actually watch the grains drop, and you can see them coming along the tube, and look at the end, and they just line them all up. They're all lined up. Drops one at a time. So you know when it goes to 54.5, it's going to be super consistent. 54.4, just let it settle, and there you go, 54.5. So you're always working your loads up to the actual load that you want. We can do this, we can clear this, and let's go for a bigger load. Let's go for 80 grains. So instead of putting 80 in, we'll put 79.9. 79.9. Let it dispense. And that will go up to a bigger load, more closer to what I'm using with my 338 Lepore. And there you go, it's settled at 79.9. And again, we can just go in and walk it up a grain at a time. It just needed one grain that time. No, it's gone back to 79.9. Now it's gone stable. You just let it, when you can see the grains dropping, just give it a quick second just for it to sort itself out, because sometimes the weight will change. So empty, drop it in. Any questions on these guys, just throw them out there. I'll try and answer, but we've got some other guys out there that want to, if I can't answer, we'll be able to help you out. And you go and you can see again 79.9, and then just walk it out. There you go, smack on 80.0. And let's go smaller. 22.9. Dispense. So we've gone a lot smaller this time, 22.9. It's gone to 22.8, 22.9. It's happy with the 22.9, and then we're going to do 23. So again, we can walk that up. And just by touching the button a little bit at a time, you can see that each grain just comes out nice and slow, and you can really, 23.3. So you can really see them coming out one at a time, and it's great if you're loading up. We cancel that one. And this time we'll do, instead of 20, 23.7 then. 23.7. Stop. 23.7. Dispense. So this time I drop in 23.7, and then we use the auto trickler to take it up 0.3 of a grains. So we can take it all the way up from 23.7 to 24. So this time I'm not going to use the fast speed, because you can see how much they bounce around. Now it's happy, it's got to 23.7. It's done your count for that weight, and then you just send them out, and hopefully you can see. See those grains, they drop. You can do it a little bit faster. We're up to 23.9. There you go, dropping one grain, 24. So there you go. I really like this system. It works well for me. So between using this and the Dandy Trickler, all going on to the FX scale, or going up onto the FND scale, I'm covered with all my, with whatever I want to do. How do I? Let's go back onto here. Michael Hurtneck has got to run. Good to see you. Thanks for joining us, Michael. Have a great week and weekend, and we will catch you next time. Just going down the comments. Genius saying that trickler is cool. Yeah, I think you're loading 6.5 and some rifle rounds now, Gene. So if you're trying to get into that real accuracy side of it, it's not. I know it's $129. it is a bit of money, but I think it's well worth it. It just, in the end, it speeds the process up a little bit, because you can always drop it low and work up to it. So you're not dumping powder all the time and having to redo it, and you get a nice consistent load every time. And it works with a finer powder as well, but just got to be a little bit more quick on the button, because with the fine powder it does seem to, it clumps up a little bit more with the real fine powder, so you just got to be a little bit more careful when it comes to dropping it. But it works really well. So there's 1920 on, guys, so don't forget hashtag Mac31, I believe it is tonight we're doing. Just change the banner at the bottom so you can all see that. There you go. Yeah, hashtag Mac31. We've got the little channel sticker, little FN scar sticker, the little green pocket screwdriver, pocket clip magnet, and a little flat screwdriver. Everybody seems to love these, so I'm just going to keep on giving them out until I run out of them. But I go to a show, I'll go to our tool show in February, and I'll order another couple of hundred of them, and I'll have enough for doing it all next year. And then we've got the little camouflaged beanie, the little hunting beanie. It's got the Mac Tools orange logo on it, and it's just a nice little camo. It's not really wool, it's like more of a fabric. I don't know really what it is, and but it's a nice little beanie, so we'll give that one away. We'll do the draw in about 15 minutes or so. Walter says I scored a round ball 2 cavity for 450. I needed to scavenge the handles. That was a pretty cheap. That was a good pickup for 450. Andy says he had a mold alignment 358 432 type 3 wad cutter. He picked up one of those. Very nice. So we went out shooting the weekend, and let me show you these guys. It's so I loaded up a bunch of 7mm mag a few years ago, well, quite a few years ago, probably in 2018 when I had my other 7mm mag rifle. So I had this batch. So they were Nosler brass, 180 grain target bullets, and it was H1000 powder, Remington 9.5 primers, and overall length was 3.290. So we went to use these the weekend, and the bolt wouldn't close my gun on them. So I've got a tighter chamber in my new 7mm mag than I did have in my other one, which was I had a Remington 700 and 7mm mag, just a basic off-the-shelf gun. So obviously it was a much looser chamber in it. So these, even though that these were just sized, in it with a standard 7mm sizing die, not neck sizing or pump. It was just all done in one, and they worked perfectly in the other one. I went to use them in the 7mm this weekend, and no way would they wouldn't close. It was so much tighter. And the other thing I noticed with these, which I haven't really noticed before, but they've been sitting in this box, closed, on my shelf, inside my garage, AC controlled garage and everything. It's not damp or nothing in here. It's all perfect. But look how that brass has changed color compared to the empty one, which is still basically shiny brass. Look how much that has changed color. When I pulled it out, I couldn't get over how much that brass had, I don't know if it's, do you call it anodizing or whatever? I don't know, but it changed color so much. And I don't know, I know it might be stupid to say, but with it changing like this, has it changed the size of it? Has it added layers to it? Because I really thought this was in a chamber in my rifle, and it wouldn't. And when you put it into a gauge, when you put it into a gauge, you can see that. You see if we can tilt that. See, that's all it is. You can just see it's just high of the outer surface where it's supposed to be below. You can see there's just high, just protruding out. And I wondered if that had gone like that just by storing it and the changing color, or was it down to the size? And it'd be interesting to know if any of you guys have come across that. Is from a bullet too long, or wear the case just neck size? No, this piece of brass wasn't just neck sized and bumped, Tommy. It was actually sized in an old RCBS full length sizing die. It was just a full length sizing die, 7mm mag. So when I actually sized this to fit my old rifle, it worked perfectly. And then obviously with my new one, which has got much tighter tolerances, it just the bolt will not close. So it was just interesting. I thought how much it changed color, and that it wouldn't cycle in the rifle. So all I'm going to do, I'm going to pull them all. I'm going to throw the powder, because the powder is probably going to be okay, but it's 4 or 5 years old. It's been sitting there for 4 or 5 years, so I'm just going to throw the powder. I'm going to put those in the tumbler just to clean them up a little bit, and then I'm going to go back and size them down and see if I can recycle my rifle and just redo them again, fill them with powder, drop the bullets in there, and go out and fire them. So have a look what else has been said here. Gene is saying it's I lost my mouse here. No, sorry guys, you can get the mouse back in here. What did Gene say? Gene saying it's funny how things change, and the more we learn as time goes on. Yeah, you're right there. And then Tommy saying, I see a lot of guys just partially sizing belted mags, so the headspace off the shoulder instead of the belt. Yeah, I neck size them if they're fire form. I've had the ones that I've done. I fire formed them to the rifle, and then I've neck sized them and bumped the shoulder. They've been fine, but as time goes on, I'm probably going to have to, like I said, size them all the way back down to the belt. But at the moment, they seem to be okay. And Dale says, I had some 308 that sprung back out of size over the years. Yeah, I think that's what's happened with these. I know that when I would have reloaded them, they definitely would have fitted in that sizing gauge. And if they were sticking out like that, I wouldn't have gone. I would have redone them. And he's got Andy saying, 30-year-old 30-06 dimensions never changed. Did you anneal them? I don't believe I annealed those, Andy, because this is going back before I had my annealer. So I don't think they were fired once and then reloaded. So they're on their first reload from new. So they haven't been annealed. They will get annealed now. Once I pull them all apart, they're going to get annealed before I do any work on them to soften them back. But at the time, no, I don't think so. Mark's trapping and outdoors has joined us. Hey Mark, how are you doing? I'm doing good. Thanks for joining us. Really glad to see you. And then Tommy saying, kind of like 303 Brit, actually headspace off the rim, but it's better to set the headspace off a fired round on the shoulder, as most 303 have deep chambers. Yeah, the 303s that I used to have had huge. I'd had problems with them with the brass splitting and coming across because the head spacing was too much on them. But yeah, I know where you're coming from with that. We're up to 12 entries on the draw for tonight, guys. If anybody wants to get in, just hashtag Mac31 for tonight. Oh well, one guy joined us. Good to see you. And Boomstick Revenge is with us. Good to see you. Little thing I got on display tonight, guys, is my CMMG pistol. In 10mm. This thing is such a fun gun to shoot. I've got the Vortex Razor, quite a large butch looking red dot on it, but it looks really nice. And as most of you are aware, this week ATF have basically lost the whole thing with the braces. It's going to get thrown out. I think some judges in Texas have overruled it, said it's unconstitutional, and I can see people Aero Precision have started advertising pistols again with these braces on up for sale. A couple of the gun shops I went in over the weekend have got pistols with braces back on, so they're coming back out. So it looks like we've won that one. That's great news, because most of us, I think, have got the AR pistols, and it was just a pistol that we had to remove our braces. We weren't not supposed to be allowed to use them, and all we were going to have was a tube there. And the thing is, this one was bought complete with the brace on it. I bought this one from CMMG as it sits, except for the optic on there. And it's great that we've actually been able to come back. Hopefully they can do the triggers next. Do you know, the little rapid fire bouncing triggers? Hopefully that's going to be the next thing to get thrown out, so we can start getting those again. Tommy Boy says nationwide injunction on pistol braces. He's saying PSA has already started selling brace pistols again. Yeah, I've seen them popping up. Doug Thomas has joined us. Good to see you, Doug. So with this as well, I'm not going to handle it now, but this one as well, like I said, it's in 10mm. When I first got this, I took it to the range and I sighted it in at 50 yards, and I actually just zeroed it at 50 yards. And then we've got 18-inch plates at 300 yards on my local gun range. So you can go out to 300 yards, but you only can hear the bang of the plate. You can't actually see where you're hitting. You just know you're hitting that plate. So after zeroing that at 50 yards, I thought, oh, let's just throw it out to the plate to see if I can hit the plate. So I aimed about 3 foot above the plate to start with, and I shot. Nothing. Seen a bit of dust, shot again. And in the end, I brought the red dot down onto the plate, pulled the trigger and hit the plate. So even though I've zeroed that at 50 yards, when I take it out to 300 yards, I think it might only be, like I said, an 18-inch plate. I'm hitting the plate without having to touch, without having to adjust anything. So 50 yards bullseye on paper, and then out to 300 yards and hitting an 18-inch plate with not really compensating at all. That 10mm round is such a flat shooter, and I was really surprised how how well it shoot, and you can shoot 300 yards, and it's whacking the plate. You can really hear the ding with it. So I love that 10mm round. This pistol, I absolutely love it. It's awesome. It's a great shooting gun, and yeah, whacking steel at 300 yards with a 10mm, it's pretty good. I really enjoy it, and I would highly recommend that. It's the CMMG Banshee. It's called the Banshee. I know they do it in multiple calibers, but I went for this bronze color in 10mm, and it's sweet. I really like it. Right, we're up on 45 minutes, guys. Let's think about doing this draw. And again, just to refresh all the new guys that have come in, it's hashtag Mac31, channel logo sticker, FN Scar sticker, little green pocket screwdriver, flat screwdriver, magnet, little pocket clip on it. And this week we got the little beanie hat, the hunting hat, camouflaged. It's got the little orange Mac tools on it. These are really nice hats. They're not wool, they're like a material. And so that's what we're going to give away tonight. A couple of stickers, screwdriver and a hat. So hopefully if all you guys have put in, we'll go in and we can do the draw. Casey Dolph has just joined us. He's just thrown out a hashtag Mac31. Let's go in and share the screen. Okay, good luck everybody. Let's go in and do this draw. Bambadad, congratulations, Bambadad. Let me see. I think I got your details. Yep, I got all your details. You don't need to send that to me. So congratulations. I will get that packed up and sent out to you. Stop screening. There you go. And I think Pony47 has joined us. I can see everybody saying hi to him. Thanks for joining us. We've already run through what we're going to be doing. We're just going to do the scales tonight. Just reading the last of the comments here. Yeah, so like I said, I went out, had a great weekend. We were out most of the day, me and Lauren. We were shooting the 7mm mag, the 300 Win mag, and the 3 trickler, and we pushed out to 1,033. And like I said, I made a small video of us out there with the 3 trickler, so I'll get that posted. And so I've got a couple of series coming up again for the reloading side. We're going to go through, and I'm going to actually load 3 trickler from being once fired, going through the whole process of depriming, cleaning the pockets. They're going to go in the cleaner. We're going to anneal them, and then we're going to neck size them, bump the shoulders, measure them to see if they need a trim, and then probably that'll all be in the first part of it, and then the second part we'll do the drop in some powder. We can either use this Charge Master or I can use the FND. They're both very, very accurate, especially with this dandy trickler. It makes this one a lot better. And then we go through and powder drop and seat the bullet to finish it off. Chad Kelly has joined us. Being there's a few people came on late, let me just we'll just go through it again, and you can see sorry for the guys that have seen it, but let's just run through to so some of the guys that haven't seen it working. So we've got the Charge Master all set up. We've got it calibrated. Everything's done. And then the reason we're doing it tonight is I showed a few people this last week, the Dandy Trickler. And a couple of people, I think it was Tommy Boy, said he hadn't seen it. And so we just go through and I'll show you how I work my loads up using that dandy trickler. So let's just say you want to do a load 53 grains, you want to do a load. So with the Charge Master, instead of hitting 53, I want to go down a little bit. So let's go 52.8. So 52.8 and dispense. So it'll drop 52.8, and then we can use this dandy trickler to take it up the last couple of thou to bring it up. Thorax has joined us. Good to see you. What's he saying? Perfect. Charge weights don't affect accuracy as much as the chamber fit and the bullet length to the LAN. The way the powder burns is inconsistent no matter how exact you measure. You're probably right, but you know, we're all a little bit OCD when it comes to this, and I just like to get it absolutely perfect. And I've gone the other way. I find getting the powder spot on is better than matching the bullet to the lands. I used to chase that LAN and adjust my bullet lengths to suit, and then I spent a day with my 300 Win Mag, and we set it up at 300 yards, different lengths of bullet. And to be honest with you, Thorax, I couldn't really see any difference. And I've also seen with, is it Eric Cortina and F-Class John? They were the ones that are saying as well that chasing the LAN, it doesn't make any difference. They're not really worried about that part of it. They're more consistent with the neck tension and things like that. So I've gone down that same sort of that route as well, where I like to get everything right. But the thing that I don't even bother with anymore, I don't even measure the LAN anymore. I don't check it. The only thing I check that I'm not hitting it, and other than that, it's I don't chase that LAN anymore. I don't waste my time on it, because me personally, I didn't see a difference. But it's good to hear different opinions of how things work with everybody, because it's nice to see different points of view as well. And Tommy Boy saying, I think neck tension is the biggest contributor to consistency and how you load perform. Yeah, I think you're right there. So let's just get back to this. So I did this at 52.8. Let me zoom in on this trickler again. So this trickler is like a vibrating trickler, and try and get the scale there as well. And as you work it, it vibrates the powder forward. So hopefully you can see that, guys. It's vibrating the powder forward. So I set it at 52.8, and I want to take it up to 53. So it's already gone to 52.9, and you can basically drop a grain at a time. And it's just hitting that button. There you go, 53. And all you're doing is hitting that button. Let's get that and do it again. Couple of grains dropped on the pan. Goes to 0. It automatically starts. It's going to run up to 50. Let's say 52, 52.8. Comes up as the count, and you can see the arrows pointing at the stable, so we know it's not going to drop anymore through this. And then we can work the dandy trickler. See if I can bring that in so you can see that. So all I'm doing is just touching that button, a flick at a time. You can see it dropping 1 grain at a time. So it's still at 52.8. 52.8. Now it's gone to 52.9. And 53.0. And it flopped over onto 53. And like I said, so consistent with this little trickler thing, this dandy trickler. It's so consistent. it just drops to 53.3. Quick and easy. It doesn't take long. It's just gets you that little bit more precise. So I brought this in just to show it again. I know a lot of you guys saw it a bit earlier, but there's a few guys, see quite a few guys jumped in here late, so I just wanted to go through it again. Bamba Dad says Eric just said he doesn't even clean his brass anymore. He's got time to mess around and do all sorts of stuff with his reloading, so it's I wish I had that much time that I could do it. So again, 52.8 guys, just hit that button. All I'm doing is just, see, it's just flicking it one little vibrate at a time. And you can actually watch, while you're standing there, you can actually watch the grains drop. So it's gone to 52.9. One grain dropped. Another grain dropped. And there you go. Like I said, I just give it a little bit of time in between as each grain drops, just so that the scale can pick up because it's only like one grain at a time, pick up it, make sure that you're not going over. So there you go. Hopefully that was a help for some of you guys. Let me go in and just show that screen again. So there you go. So there's the company is actually here in Mesa in Arizona that make these. It's called the Dandy 2-speed electric powder trickler. You can see it's a 5-star rated, $124.95. They only ship to United States. They won't ship to a PO box. And yeah, so there you go. That's the unit, guys. I really like it. And if you can look here, I don't know if the thing is coming up here. So this is right down at the bottom at the moment. There's just a little screw on the back. You unscrew, little finger screw on the side here, unscrew it, and this will raise all the way up to the top of this tube. So it's quite a bit of adjustment. It'll work probably, I think it'll work on nearly every powder scale that you've got. And so there's loads of adjustment on it. This little hopper comes off. It's just held on by this little clip-on tube. And it's quite a long tube for feeding out, so it'll reach into most measures. And again, it's got a nice heavy bottom on it, so it holds it steady. With it vibrating and stuff, you want a nice steady unit, so it just feeds the grains out for you. Cool. Well, there you go, guys. We're just coming up on an hour. Chad says, well done. I thought I got everything I needed. Got another gadget for my list. Gonna have to buy another house to store my stuff. Yeah, that's the problem with this game, Chad. You'll never finish buying. Walter says, another fine show. Macman Reloading. Thank you. I really appreciate that. And Chad saying that would work well with the A and D scale that measures to 0.2 grains. Yeah, you could feed that. There is enough room for it to feed. You could take one of the panels out on the side and you could feed it straight in if you want to. I've never had the issue yet having to use the Dandy trickler with that because of this. I've got the small tube set really slow, so it's dropping one grain at a time. I've got it set up, so I haven't had to use this with that scale, but there's plenty of room to get in there and use it. It would be perfect for that. Phil has joined us. Peterson's Farm in Nashville. It's good to see you. Yeah, we've pretty much gone through it, Phil. You'll have to watch the repeat a bit later. Okay, well, we're on an hour, guys, so there you go. I hope you enjoyed it. I showed you a bit of equipment that a lot of you haven't seen before. So I highly recommend it. It works perfect. It runs on 2 AA batteries. There's nothing much to go wrong with it. It's just a little vibrating tool. And if you guys wanted one of those, I haven't got a bad thing to say about it. I really like it. So it's something that's might be well worth adding to your collection if you want to get into real precision stuff. So I don't know yet what I'm going to do next Monday. I'll figure out something to do. But I have got like a little series we're going to do in 338 Lepore, start to finish, loading up once fired. Now I've managed to I got about 40 rounds that I shot over the last couple of weeks. Sorry, last weekend and last time I took it out. So I got about 40 rounds that I can load up. So we're going to go through the whole process with 338 Lepore. And I need to sort out this bunch of 7mm that's not cycling in my gun. So a huge thanks to everybody who joined us. D-Dub D37 has joined us. Thanks for jumping on. Dale Pogue is there. So a huge thanks for joining me, guys. I really appreciate it. I love doing these streams. And I got some videos I'm going to drop this week. And we'll catch you in the next. So you all be safe. Have a great week. And have a great weekend, guys. And we'll catch you next time. Good night, everybody.